If confidence is something that you could just decide to have, like most gurus out there would tell you, then everyone would be abundantly confident and one bad day wouldn't completely mess that up for you. In this video, we're going to explore why most of the advice that you've heard about being more confident probably either doesn't feel like it applies to you or hasn't worked at all, and the three main things that really helped me become more confident in everything that I pursued and what made me become the person that I am today without feeling like an impersonator or I'm just pretending. If you're new here, then my name is Aaron Moses. I am an entrepreneur who started off $40,000 in debt, working a job in construction that I absolutely hated and had no direction in life, to now making over $20,000 in a single month and also helping scale a business to multiple millions of dollars every single year. And I make videos hopefully so that you guys watching can learn from the lessons that I had to learn the hard way along that journey, so that you guys can take that next step without having to go through all the ups and downs that I did. So for a long time, confidence I found super hard, especially because I was always stepping into a world unknown. Everything that I was trying to do, I didn't really have someone before me that had already done it, so it was very hard to feel confident in what I was trying to do. I would try and act confident and have that bravado that most people do when I was starting something, but then what happened is I'd make a mistake or one thing would go wrong, and then I'd just end up in the same place and all the doubts would start creeping in, and I'd be worrying, hey, am I cut out for this, right? Is this even gonna work for me? Like, it was super tiring. But once I started to understand the lessons that I'm gonna be going through in this video with you guys, confidence stopped being this thing that I was chasing and trying to gain because of the results that I was getting. And that's what this video is about. And so let's get into it. One of the things that I realized about those type of quotes and those gurus when you watch the different videos online, and it's like, believe in yourself, just be confident, all this different type of stuff, is that, yeah, it sounds empowering. As soon as something goes wrong or something doesn't go the way that you thought it was gonna go, or you don't reach a goal that you was trying to go to, it puts these handcuffs on you. It makes you start doubting yourself because you're forcing yourself to think a certain way that doesn't align with the actual results and effort that you're putting in at that moment. And so what happens is that because you're not gaining that belief through the effort and the results you're getting, you're kind of convincing yourself that you are something before you've actually got there. When you do mess up or you get rejected or things don't go the way that you go in, those thoughts suddenly change into, oh, see, I shouldn't be confident about this, or oh, see, why did I believe in myself? And then it's that constant cycle that ends up, and it did for me, getting you stuck, and you just don't end up finding a way out of it. The more I forced the confidence, the more the results that I was getting became detrimental to the mind frame that I had at that point. And what was in reality a small mistake became personal. So one of the things that really made me struggle is that feeling of trying to protect that image, right? Of the, hey, I'm super confident and oh, I believe that I can do anything that I put my mind to. Like, yes, aiming for those things is great, but the reality is that you put so much pressure on yourself, it's exhausting. One of the super important things that I did here, one of my favorite gurus, which is Alex Hormozi, we call him mentor, influencer, whatever, however you want to debate that. One of the most important things is that true confidence comes from evidence. And this is the problem that most people have. They have these beliefs based upon thin air when it's evidence that's really going to build true belief and true confidence. Because in reality, you're not building confidence by having beliefs that aren't based off facts. You're just building internal anxiety. Because I was someone who used to think about the affirmations and all that type of stuff, but you can say as many affirmations you want all day, but if your actions don't back them up, all there's going to be is internal tension. So one of the biggest things that changed for me, and it might help you guys too, is stopping asking myself, hey, am I confident in this? Do I believe in this? But asking myself the question of, what action can I take today that's going to move the needle forward, right? What action can I take today that's going to get me results to build that level of evidence that I can then look back on and say, hey, I'm confident because I know what I'm capable of and I know what results I've already got. That mental shift just changed everything for me, and hopefully it will for you guys too. Because instead of chasing a feeling or chasing this persona of how I thought I should be, I was gaining results and I was actually building momentum, so I could look back back and say, okay, now I am the person that I thought I was. Because growing up, I've always struggled with a lot of things that some people think are basic, right? Like sometimes when you think about, hey, getting up at a certain time in the morning, going to somewhere on time, saying that you're gonna do the laundry or you're gonna do the shopping or whatever it is, and then actually doing it. Some people struggle with this a lot more than others, and that was one thing that I did. And so the second lesson that I learned pretty much the hard way, and I had to really focus on this, and this should help you guys too, was keeping your word to yourself. And this isn't in some mad dramatic way, this is the small thing. Keeping your word to yourself about the little things that we do every single day, and that's how I learned how to build momentum. For example, if I said I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m, I got up, right? If I said I was going to go to the gym, I went to the gym. And it's these little things, because what I used to do is I'd be like, oh, I'll get up at 7, and then you know what it's like, right? The alarm goes off, I hit snooze, don't end up getting till about 8, and then I'm getting ready and having my cup of coffee and all this type of stuff. And I was just not building confidence internally that I would follow through on my word, which is by far one of the most important things to building real self-confidence. And I wasn't perfect either, right? Like I didn't do this exact thing every single day. Some days I didn't get up. Some days I would talk myself out going to the gym. Some days I would put off doing work that I knew needed doing today, but I would make an excuse for it to be done tomorrow or the week after. And as most of you guys have probably felt, if it's the next day, it becomes the next week, the next month, and then eventually stuff just stops getting done. And once I started doing this type of stuff, everything felt calmer. Like I felt more relaxed. I felt like when I made plans or when I had an action step that I was gonna do next or whatever it is, I felt more confident that I was gonna get it done because I was making those steps day by day. Belief is, and we talked about this in the first part, is basically you saying, hey, I can do anything. Whereas trust is, I can do what needs to be done. And that's proven through momentum and taking those little actions and following through. So when it comes to the big things and you start going to try to make the money that you want to make and have the success that you want, you can also be following through on the big things as well. And just to be clear, like most things, I thought this was gonna spike overnight, right? It doesn't. But what it does do is it helps you get used to repetition, and these things keep building, and eventually you get to a point where doing what you said you're gonna do just becomes part of your normal everyday life. And that's when things really started to change for me, and hopefully it will for you guys as well, in making sure that you do the little things and you believe in yourself from a standpoint of, hey, I know that I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, rather than just waking up and saying, hey, I believe I can do anything. Because from my experience, that stuff can be really hard to maintain. And one of the best things about it is that you give yourself proof. You don't have to have a constructed idea in your mind about who you are. The proof's there. You've already done it. And that's the strongest foundation that you can build on to start having real confidence, natural confidence, and then you can take that into all the different things that you're trying to do. And the third biggest shift and lesson that I can give you guys that I learned was stopping waiting to feel confident before acting and just doing it. Doing it and showing up is what builds that confidence. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be an expert, and you don't need to have everything planned out before you take that action. That's what was holding me back for years, and it's what probably holding a lot of you guys back as well. Because when the trust is there, the confidence just comes along with it. It's not hype, it's not ego, you're not trying to prove something to anyone. It just comes along with the fact that you know that you can get this done. Because some of the lies that we tell ourselves can be crazy. And I know you guys have probably thought these same things as well. When I'm ready, I'm gonna start. When it feels like the right time, then I'll try. And all these type of things that we tell ourselves, and that inner demon inside our mind that's telling us these things, which is basically putting us off from doing the stuff that we need to get done, and eventually it just holds us back, and things that should be taking us weeks take months. What should take months ends up taking years, and it just stalls the success that you're trying to find. But again, one of the biggest parts of this third lesson is action comes first, not confidence. And that was, all in all, one of the biggest things that helped me understand why I was struggling to get to where I was trying to get to, and I felt like I was kind of drowning at the moment. And those actions can be as simple as you move when you say you're going to move, you finish what you say you're going to finish, and you show up when you say you're going to show up. Confidence is a byproduct of trust and results. And so the most important thing that I can share with you guys is stop chasing confidence and start showing up every single day, because that's what's going to start moving the needle for you, because it's what helped me. I focused on finding stability and finding consistency in the little things that I do every day, and then that translated into all the projects and things that I was working on. And so when I started focusing on those high level projects and I started making 20k a month and scaling companies up to millions and millions of dollars, that's because I was doing the right things on the small stuff, and so I was doing the right things on the big stuff in turn. And one of the biggest things and lessons that I can share with you guys, and something that I really want you to think about, is stop relying on good days, right? You're always going to have bad days, things are going to go wrong, you might make a mistake, things might not turn out the way that you would have hoped, but if you trust that every day you're going to show up, those days are here and far between. The good days will outweigh those, and that consistency is what's going to carry you to where you're trying to go. Now, if this video has helped you guys understand where that real confidence is going to come from, then you want to take a look at this video here, which is going to break down another key concept for you guys that's going to really help you find that success that you're looking for. It explains another core concept of motivation, which can be very hard to find sometimes, and why that's not the thing that's holding you back, and some really applicable steps that you guys can take in order to start moving the needle. And that video connects to everything that we've been talking about here, and so does all of the videos on my channel as well. Until next time.